Well, hello, episode 4. The number one reason your workouts aren't working after 40. I bet you're all hanging to listen to this podcast. Welcome to the Metabolic Alchemist podcast, where I turn fitness frustration into fat burning freedom. Well, hopefully. Anyway, we're tackling the number one reason why your workouts aren't working after 40, which is where I started my journey. And how frustrating is it to be kind of doing everything right and still seeing the scale creep up or just not move? You're spending more hours at the gym than you spend watching Netflix, cutting so many calories, you're practically on a first name basis with lettuce. And yet your body seems to be sabotaging you on every level. What if I told you the very approach you've been taught is actually blocking your results? That's right. Your good intentions may be leading you down a metabolic dead end. Hey there, I'm Carly Gallagher, your metabolic magician and hormone whisperer, straight from the running track and into your living rooms. And today I'm about to share something that might blow your mind more than finding out that wearing leggings isn't actually the same as doing a workout. Who knew, right? But let's get real for a second. The number one reason your workouts aren't working after 40 isn't that you're not trying hard enough. It's that you're following advice designed for 25-year-olds with a metabolism of hummingbirds on espresso. Anyway, listen, imagine continuing on this path for another 6 months, still religiously following advice of your 20-year-old self that's working against your body and continuing to watch those numbers continue to climb while your confidence sinks lower and lower. It's like being on a metabolic treadmill, running faster and faster, but going absolutely nowhere except to the fridge for maybe some comfort ice cream. But anyway, now imagine instead discovering what your body truly needs after 40, finally seeing the scale move in the right direction and feeling the incredible sense of control when your clothes start fitting better. That moment when someone asks, "What are you doing differently?" And you realize you're actually doing less, not more. It's like finding you've been trying to charge your iPhone with the toaster all these years. No wonder it wasn't working. All right, let's talk evidence because I'm going to drop some scientific bombs that might make you want to break up with your treadmill or return it. They actually attract a big rental price. So imagine all the money you can save when I tell you this fascinating research. There is a great study by someone called Trapp, and I'm sure his colleagues had something to do. And I don't even know if it's a man or a girl. Anyway, let's just call him Trapp. And he found that she found that women who performed just 20 minutes of high intensity intermittent exercise 3 times a week experienced 11.2% decrease in total fat mass with no change in their diet. So this is just looking at what their body did with exercise alone. Meanwhile, those other ones in the study doing 40 minutes of steady state exercise, like traditional cardio, running on a treadmill or walking around the park, saw no significant fat loss. None. Zilch. Nada. I like this Trap guy or girl. Anyway, that's right, ladies. All of those hours watching Love is Blind on the elliptical might be getting you caught up in the drama, but they're not actually doing anything for your waistline. Even more interesting, high intensity interval training has been shown to significantly decrease central abdominal fat by 9.5% compared to steady state exercise. That showed a 10.5% increase in central abdominal fat. Yeah, you heard that correctly. That traditional cardio approach might actually be giving you more belly fat. A bit like paying for a service to declutter your house only to find they put more stuff in. Anyway, some of you may know of Dr. Stacey Sims. Anyway, she is a female physiology professor smashing it out there. She explains that during perimenopause, women experience greater fight or flight due to fluctuating sex hormones. You know this because I referred to it as the running away from the lion analogy in my previous podcasts. Well, she's basically confirming it. What this means is those long duration cardio sessions are like pouring petrol on your hormonal fire. The body's basically saying, you seem stressed. I know, let me hold on to that fat around your middle because there might be a chance that we're getting into like a famine or a zombie apocalypse. That seems a bit silly, right? After 40, our bodies obviously undergo hormonal shifts, more dramatic probably than a season finale of Gossip Girl. Our declining estrogen levels fundamentally alter how our bodies respond to exercise. And let's cut to the mustard. Those traditional cardio approaches are like trying to use Windows software on a Mac. It's just not compatible. So during perimenopause, we should be recognizing our bodies are already experiencing elevated stress hormones, thanks kids, and those long cardio sessions are actually just making this worse. This creates the perfect storm: more cortisol, more insulin resistance, and ultimately more fat storage, especially around the middle. I feel like I'm flogging a dead horse telling you this, but it's all about the cortisol. Meanwhile, you're logging more kilometers than an Uber driver running around the tan. That was for the Melbourne listeners out there. All while you're watching your waistline constantly expand rather than shrink. So, what does work, Carly? Just cut to the chase. The research clearly points to 3 elements, and the spoiler alert is none of them involve spending half your life on a stair climber. Thank God, I hate those stair climbers. First of all, high intensity interval training, but not marathon sessions. We're talking 15 to 20 minutes of intense work, where you're breathing hard, you're feeling your muscles burn, and you're sweating enough to make you question your life choices. It's quick, it's intense, but it's over before you can finish composing that strongly worded email to your spin instructor. Second, strength resistance training is absolutely crucial. Women typically lose 3 to 8% of our muscle mass per decade after 30, and then 5 to 10% after 50. I have to do the maths there. I never was really good at maths, but basically let's just say it's not going to get any better, ladies. If we don't do the essential strength and resistance training, we're essentially melting like ice cream on a hot summer day, except it's our muscles disappearing while our fat stays where it is. Strength training keeps your metabolism fired up, and it ensures that you can still open those stubborn pickle jars without asking for help. Now, there is the third point here, which is where I come into it. This is the part that most women miss: strategic rest. I know it sounds like I'm telling you the secret to weight loss is Netflix and chill, but hear me out. Studies show that 3 strength training sessions per week is the sweet spot for women over 40. On the non-training days, gentle movement like walking and yoga helps maintain metabolic benefits while allowing your body to recover. This isn't being lazy. I'm telling you guys, it's being smart. It's like understanding that your phone needs recharging. Otherwise, you wouldn't expect it to run 24/7, right? So why do we expect this of our bodies? We have to recharge. Now, let me outline how this looks in my metabolic alchemy approach. 3 times a week, you do metabolic workouts that combine both resistant training with short bursts of high intensity intervals. No need to do them on different days. We just combine them all for efficiency. We all love a fast workout, don't we? Now, each session is just 15 to 20 minutes, and they are intense. You should feel breathless, feel the burn, and work up a sweat that makes you look like you're just being caught in a rainstorm. Now, on alternative days, you'll be doing active recovery. So I encourage women to do their gentle walking and their yoga and stretching, just basically keep moving. And this allows your body to repair. Think of it as giving your hormones a day spa rather than putting them through boot camp every day. Now, the reason this works is that it triggers what we call a fat-burning metabolic response. That can continue up to 48 hours after your workout ends. Now, in comparison to those traditional cardio runs, that only burns calories while you're doing it. We're actually burning calories when we're not doing it by using my strategic targeted 15 to 20 minutes metabolic burning exercises. On our rest days, we are actively repairing and restoring, which helps maintain that metabolic benefit while allowing our muscles and tendons and hormones to recover properly. So let's talk about the real win. These shorter workouts actually fit into your daily busy mum lives. Because let's be honest, finding 15 minutes 3 times a week is a lot more realistic than finding an hour every day, plus fighting in traffic, especially when your calendar is packed more than a freezer after a Costco run. Now, another critical element the research highlights is the importance of a coach. Yep. I can't just cut myself out of this equation because the research from Go for Life study found that participants who received regular voice coaching prompts showed 42% higher program adherence and reported feeling more accountable than those who'd followed just the written instructions alone. So this highlights now having a coach who provides real-time encouragement can dramatically improve your consistency, which we know is the true key to results after 40. In fact, research also shows that women who aim for consistency over perfection are 3 times more likely to maintain their results long term. So this is about progress, not perfection. 80% adherence to the plan yields far better results than 100% commitment to a regime so strict it makes military boot camp look like a day at the spa. So let's wrap this up with some key takeaways. Number 1, high intensity, short duration workouts 3 times weekly outperform traditional cardio for women over 40. Strength training is a non-negotiable unless you want your future self to struggle with opening jars and getting off the toilet seat. Now, strategic rest is important as the workouts itself. And then finally, having a coach as your cheer squad helps you improve accountability. Let's not forget that consistency trumps perfection every time because real life does happen and I appreciate that. But if you've been frustrated with your results, despite putting in more hours at the gym than your teenage kids on Snapchat, it might be time to consider that less, the right kind of less, could actually deliver more. Surprise, surprise, I have a free 12-day metabolic exercise revolution offer for all you ladies who want to try this revolutionary exercise approach with me, being your voice coach, of course. So just head to the show notes to find out more about how you can join this free revolution and see for yourself. You should know that working with your hormones instead of against them is like finally driving with GPS instead of stubbornly insisting that you know that shortcut. Thanks for joining me today on The Metabolic Alchemist. If you found this information valuable, please share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube or Spotify because that helps the algorithm and helps me, of course. And we have lots of friends who might be struggling with the same challenges, and it'd be great to share this love with them as well. And remember, you don't have to work harder. You just need to work smarter. Your body after 40 is like a fine wine. It gets better with age, but it needs to be treated with respect. Until next time, this is Carly Gallagher reminding you that the best results often come when we stop fighting our bodies and start listening to them instead. And maybe, just maybe, that means you can cancel that 5 a.m. boot camp that you've been dreading all week. And that's a wrap. Phew. If something clicked for you today, I've got all the links to my favourite products, supplements, and exactly where to buy them waiting for you in the show notes. No hunting required. Want more personalised support? I totally get it. This journey can be overwhelming when you're doing it all on your own. Whether you're ready to jump into my one-on-one coaching programs or test it out first in my online Metabolic Flash course, I've got your back. Just head to the show notes for the links to those pages or my website inner-alchemy.com.au and let's turn those frustrating symptoms into your comeback story. Because honestly, the best version of you isn't in your past. She's waiting on the other side of these new rules. Until next time, remember, work smarter, not harder. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next episode.